morning, students. Today our topic is aryl diazonium salts preparation and chemical properties. So in last three previous classes we discussed about the nitrogen compounds. In nitrogen compounds we specially discussed about the amines. We have three types of amines: primary and secondary, tertiary. So we already completed the properties and preparations and chemical properties of the amines. So now we discussed about the aryl diazonium salts. So how it is prepared from amines. So generally we take the aryl diazonium salts from the aromatic primary amines to prepare the aryl diazonium salts. So for example, if you take the simple example of primary aromatic amine. So if you take a simple example, primary aromatic amine. So we know very well the primary aromatic amine that we call as a aniline. So this is the primary aromatic amine. So this primary aromatic amine we call as a aniline. So this aniline compound to prepare the diazonium salts. So from aniline to prepare the diazonium salt. How you prepare the aniline to aryl diazonium salts. So this is very simple reaction. We know very well this reaction. So the reaction with the aniline to react with sodium nitrite. So this is the sodium nitrite plus HCl. Under the low temperature, we take the temperature from 0 to 5 degrees. So in this condition to prepare the aryl diazonium salt. So let's see what is happening. So this is, we are getting the aryl diazonium salts from aniline. So this is the aryl diazonium salts. So what is the uses of aryl diazonium salts? There is a very broad uses to aryl diazonium salts to use to prepare the so many compounds for this. So very used to prepare the so many aromatic compounds to base on the intermediate of aryl diazonium salt. You want to prepare the halogen compounds, aryl halogen compounds. We also prepare the biphenyl compounds, phenols and ethers, aryl ethers. We can prepare so many intermediates from compounds for this intermediate we are using to aryl diazonium salts. So that's why we are studying about the aryl diazonium salts. Now we discussed about some of the chemical properties of aryl diazonium salts. This is also we consider as some of the preparations of aromatic compounds. Let's see. So we start with a simple example. So this is the aryl diazonium salts. So what is happening when the aryl diazonium salts? When the aryl diazonium salts to react. So in this case, so what is the characterization of the carbon and the benzene ring? So for example, this is the aryl diazonium salt. In this case, so we have the carbon have and nitrogen bonding between the carbon and nitrogen bonding. So the carbon having less electron than nitrogen. That's why the carbon always having positive charge and nitrogen having negative charge. In this reason, we have to prepare this aryl diazonium salt to prepare so many compounds like aryl halogen compounds also. So let's see the Sand-Meyer reaction. So this is also one of the famous named reaction, Sand-Meyer reaction. In this reaction, we are preparing from halogen compounds from aryl diazonium salt to react with the copper chloride. So let's see what is happening when the copper chloride to react with this compound aryl diazonium salts. So if it reacts with copper chloride to this reaction, so we are getting the, so let's see what is happening. The chlorobenzene, we are getting the product chlorobenzene plus. So these are the byproducts N2 and chloride. So this is happening with the Sand-Meyer reaction with this reaction to copper chloride to prepare the chlorobenzene. If you take this reaction also, we can react with some other compounds like we are preparing where bromobenzene we take in this place of copper chloride, we are taking that copper bromide. So what is happening when see the copper bromide in place of copper chloride, we take the, so the bromo halogen compounds, here the bromine is the substitution. Let's see what is happening with the reaction in this reaction. So we are preparing so many aryl halogen compound, aryl halides for this reaction. So let's see the second reaction, bromine preparation. So this is the bromine to react with copper bromide to produce the copper bromide to the bromine substitution on the benzene. So this is the reaction. So to prepare the bromobenzene. So if you prepare the iodobenzene in place of copper bromide, we take the copper iodide also, copper iodide also. So in case we are using copper iodide in place, this is the iodine substitution on the benzene. So let's see if you prepare the pseudo halogens like cyanide and thiocyanate, we have substitution on the benzene for this reaction also. For example, if you the aryl diazonium salts to react with copper cyanide to prepare the cyanide group on substitution on the benzene. So this is the cyanobenzene prepared from the Sandmeyer reaction also. This cyanide we called as a pseudo halogen. Let's see what is happening in the next reaction to prepare the Gattermann reaction. So for this Gattermann reaction we also prepare the aryl halides also. So in this reaction also the aryl diazonium salt is the intermediate. So let's see the Gattermann reaction. So in this Gattermann reaction, so generally we are using HX hydrohalide plus copper powder. So this is the reagent we are using, HX hydrohalides plus copper powder to prepare the aryl diazonium salts to aryl halides. Like if you take the simple example, start with the diazonium salt. This is the diazonium salt to react with hydrogen chloride in presence of copper powder. The difference between the Sandmeyer reaction and Gattermann reaction, the major difference is the copper. Here we are using the copper as a powder as per catalyst. In the Sandmeyer reaction we are using the copper chloride, copper bromide to prepare the aryl. So that is the major difference in this both reaction, Gattermann reaction and Sandmeyer reaction. So let's see what is happening. So here the chloro substitution plus nitrogen plus copper. So this is the compounds we are getting from the Gattermann reaction. If you are interested to prepare the bromobenzene, so here in place of copper chloride we take the copper bromic acid to prepare the bromobenzene. So this if you take to prepare the iodine, so in this case HI to react with iodine. So these are happening from the Gattermann reaction. The major difference between the Gattermann reaction and Sandmeyer reaction. This is the major difference between these both reactions. So we can prepare the fluorobenzene. So to go with the Schimann reaction, this is also one of the difficult reaction of the prepare the fluorobenzene, because of the fluorobenzene is more reactive than the remaining aryl halides like chlorobenzene and bromobenzene and iodobenzene. So let's see to prepare the fluorobenzene. Okay. So let's see the fluorobenzene preparation from Schimann reaction. So this is the aryl diazonium salt to react with tetrafluoro hydroboron. So this you are using this to react with this aryl diazonium salt to prepare the fluorobenzene. This reaction we called as a Schimann reaction. Let's see some of the important reactions of to prepare the phenols and ethers in this intermediate. So this intermediate we are using aryl diazonium salt to react with water. So the product is alcohol phenol. So this way we are preparing from aniline to phenol. First of all, the aniline to conduct the reaction with sodium nitrate in presence of HCl to produce the aryl diazonium salt. After that, we are addition of water. So finally, we are getting the phenol is the product. So let's see what is happening in the second reaction. Aryl diazonium salt reaction with phosphorus acid to react with this reaction, reduction reaction take place. In this case, we are getting the benzene is the product. Benzene is the product. So in the next reaction, so these are all reactions are intermediate to use the aryl diazonium salt as a intermediate to get the so many compounds like this aryl halides and phenols and ether. If you have to react with alcohols in this reagent to produce the alcohol to produce the reaction with the aryl diazonium salt, we are getting the aryl ether is the products. Aryl ethers are products. So these are all to prepare from aryl diazonium salts as a intermediate. So let's see some of the reactions for aryl diazonium salts like reduction reactions and basic reactions. Okay. If the aryl diazonium salt to react with lithium aluminum hydride or sodium borohydride. So what is happening? So this is happening when the hydrogen is substitution on, that we call as a benzene. So this is the benzene to prepare from aryl diazonium salt to react with lithium aluminum hydride or sodium borohydride to prepare the benzene. If the aryl diazonium salt to react with phenol in presence of base, like if you take the strong base sodium hydroxide, what is happening? The aryl diazonium salts to react with phenol in presence of base, like the aryl diazonium salt to react with benzene in presence of base like sodium hydroxide. So we are getting the biphenyl is the products. So this reaction we call as a Gomberg. So this is the Gomberg reaction, coupling reaction. So this is the biphenyl. We are getting aryl diazonium salt to react with benzene in presence of base like sodium hydroxide to produce the biphenyl is the products. Let's see if the aryl diazonium salt involving in the reduction process, what is the products we are getting. So we have two types of reduction reagents like zinc HCl, metal plus HCl, metal in presence of HCl. This is the one of the reduction reagent to produce the aniline is the product. So this is the aniline product. So let's see if the reaction of phenol in presence of OH, basic medium, para-hydroxy azodide. For example, if the phenol to react with aryl diazonium salt in presence of base like strong bases sodium hydroxides. So what is the product? So this is the product we are getting para-hydroxy azodide. So that we call as a azodide. This is a orange color PPT. Precipitation is formed. So this is the identification test to use the phenol to react with aryl diazonium salt to prepare the orange dye to identification of phenol this reaction. So we can identify the diazo coupling with the aniline also. So if we are using in the place of phenol, so we are getting the aniline also involving in the digo coupling reaction. This is also identification of the phenol and aniline for the identification test to use the aryl diazonium to test aryl diazonium salts. So next we discussed about the nitrogen compounds. We continue the nitrogen compound chapter. So let's we discuss about the cyanides and isocyanates in this nitrogen compounds also. So this is also cyanides and isocyanates also one of the part of nitrogen compounds. That's why we are discussing here. So let's see what is called cyanides and isocyanates. So the cyanides and isocyanates, cyanides and isocyanates. So both are functional isomers. Cyanides and isocyanates both are having same functional group, cyanide CN. In this isocyanate we have the NC. So if the carbon methyl, if you take a simple example, methyl directly attached with cyanide group, like carbon to carbon bond. So here the carbon between nitrogen I have 3 bonds. Here we have nitrogen directly attached to the methyl groups. So these both are functional isomers, like we have cyanides and isocyanates. So the both are having same groups, like cyanide having CN. What is the difference between these both cases, cyanides and isocyanates? So here the cyanide, the carbon is directly attached to the hydrocarbon chain. Here the isocyanates, the nitrogen is directly attached to the hydrocarbon chain. So that is the major difference between the cyanides and isocyanates. So their reactivity, their chemical properties, their physical and chemical properties also different, but both are having same molecular formula, molecular weight, but their properties also different. Let's see what is happening. So cyanides and isocyanates. So the first of all, simple discuss that this one cyanide RCN, RC triple bond, this is the cyanide, the isocyanide RN triple bonds, this is the isocyanide. What is the molecular formula of this? Molecular formula of these compounds. For example, if you take a simple example, CH3CN. So this is the methyl cyanide. So the general molecular formula CN H2. Here we have C2H3N. 2n minus 1 here. So this is the general molecular formula CN H2n minus 1n. So this is the general molecular formula, both of them, cyanides and isocyanates. So let's see the difference between the cyanides and isocyanates. So the general molecular formula of the both of the compounds have same molecular formula. So the molecular formula of cyanides and isocyanates are CN H2n minus 1 and N. So these are the general formula of the molecular formula of both of the compounds, cyanides and isocyanates. So we write some of the cyanides and isocyanates here. So this is the cyanides, methyl isocyanate, this one, methyl cyanide, this one methyl isocyanate. So this one ethyl cyanide, this one ethyl isocyanate. So let's we discuss about the IUPAC nomenclature of the cyanides and isocyanates. Generally, this is the common names to called as a cyanides and isocyanates for these compounds. For example, you are giving to the IUPAC name of these compounds to called as a nitriles and isonitriles. So let's see what is the difference between cyanides and isocyanates. So first of all, we have the two types of nomenclature. Isocyanates, we have two types of nomenclature. The first we discussed about the common and IUPAC nomenclature. So we start with the common names. The common names we call as a cyanides. So this one we call as a, this group we consider as a cyanide. So remaining group, so we call as a alkyl cyanide. So that's why these compounds we call as a alkyl cyanides. The isocyanates also we called as a alkyl isocyanates. For example, if you take any R group the present in the box, so that we called as a isocyanate. For example, this is the methyl group is present here, so that's why we called as a methyl cyanate. Methyl cyanate. So here also the methyl group in place of R we have the methyl group, that's why we call as a methyl isocyanate. So let's we see IUPAC nomenclature of the cyanates and isocyanates. So here we have the cyanate group and isocyanate groups. So in this case, in common nomenclature, we don't consider the carbon present in the cyanate and isocyanate groups. If you take the nitrile nomenclature, we also consider the carbon count to the carbon in the nitriles and isonitrile nomenclature. Let's we see. So what is happening? So this is very simple. So we called as a alkane nitriles. So this is the IUPAC name of cyanates, and alkane isonitriles. This is the IUPAC name of isocyanates. So let's see what is happening. For example, here we take the methyl isocyanate nomenclature. Here we have two carbons, that's why we called as a ethane nitrile. Ethane nitrile. What is the IUPAC name of methyl cyanate? So ethane nitrile is the IUPAC name of the methyl cyanate. So this is today our topic. Tomorrow we will discuss the IUPAC nomenclature of the cyanates and isocyanates, both compounds, and preparations also. So do watch my channel, do subscribe my channel. So thank you.